Welcome to the Idaho Business Podcast, the only Idaho podcast focused on providing profits for Idaho people. If you love our state and love small business, you are in the right place. We interview local legends, learn business, and have way too much fun doing it. You're listening to the Idaho Business Podcast with your friend, host, and all-around great guy and owner of New Clean Commercial Cleaning, Spencer Ward.
All right, everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Idaho Business Podcast. It is still January. Hope you guys are just rocking and rolling. Hopefully you're sticking to some New Year's resolutions. Hopefully there's not 10,000 of them. Hopefully there's just a couple. And hopefully you're happy. As always, we're sponsored by Health West. These guys are a great group to partner with. Give them a Google to find out where they're closest to you throughout Idaho, and go give them a visit and see what they can do for you and your family. Now, I was going about my week last week thinking, okay, I talk a lot about processes. I've talked a lot about putting different systems in place. And I started going back into my own businesses thinking, okay, what more can I do for my businesses? What tasks do I find myself doing on a daily, basis that I honestly shouldn't be doing? I should be putting my efforts more towards higher income producing activities. And this got me thinking, across the board. I've got many friends that have businesses, and great people that work their butts off, and sometimes they're killing their bodies because they're working in and out and on their business all the time. So I started thinking, okay, this is important to kind of dial this in and to drive this home with a lot of people, to help them understand there's so much better ways to do things, even when money's tight, little by little, to make you more efficient and to even save your body. If you are in that type of industry that you're like, okay, as the owner of this industry, should I really be, if I own a auto body shop, should I really be the one in there sanding everything down every single day, painting everything every single day, hammering out the dents every single day? Maybe when you're first beginning, as you're cutting your teeth in this, as you're starting this business, great. But as you grow, you got to start distancing yourself away from that. Not that you're too good for it, but you have to know that there's other, even opportunities is one, but just better uses of your time to help you run a profitable business that will benefit your employees and benefit you better. I was in church yesterday, and a quote came across that I was really keen on. And one of the elders of the church that I go to, he'd been active his whole life, and then he found himself in a wheelchair at one point, and he said, responding to a question from another church member saying, how do you do it now? Like, how do you do it? You used to be so active. How do you get everything done when you're now that you're in just a wheelchair? And he said, in response to that, when you cannot do what you've always done, you do what is most important. So think about that as you're putting together your day. We can talk physically for a minute. If you're the type of person that your back's literally killing you, or your hip is killing you, and you've had surgeries, and you're still out there cranking wrenches, and you're bending over, you're taking tires off, whatever it may be. You're bending over, hammering nails into roofs. As the owner, is that really the best, solution for your time being spent? And if you could think of, if you were completely taken out of the equation, and you had to be in your bed, you get hurt, or heaven forbid, you lose the ability to work physically. How would you do it? How would you continue to provide for your family while still owning that company? Well, just like that quote says, you do what is most important. You have to kind of think, okay, what do I usually do when this situation comes up? Well, I do this. Okay. And if this happens, okay, then I do that. And if that happens, then I do this until that solution is a full solution and it comes to uh, a situation where it's solved. So many of us think that we have to be everything to everyone at all times in our business. By doing that, we're running ourselves ragged and we're not able to meet our full potential as a business leader, business owner, uh, and even as a provider to our families. You might enjoy exactly what your profession is, throwing nails into things and doing that kind of stuff. And by golly, once in a while, go out and do the things that you really enjoy doing. If you enjoy building a certain type of staircase or whatever it may be, find time. If that you really get your joy out of that, go do it once in a while. Track your time and put that time in your week that you get to do that. If it's an out for you, you get to relax and just kind of express your creative juices by doing it. Awesome. By all means, do it. But if it's something you dread and you're like, oh no, got to do this, but I'm the only one that can do this, I'm going to call BS on that. Like I've said over and over again, you can teach anyone to do anything. And I'll take a step back from that even. I won't say anyone because there are wrong people for the wrong jobs, So you can hire someone and they can definitely be the wrong fit and you need to find someone else. And don't let that discourage you when you're trying to offload some of that load to someone else. So many people I see will hire someone. And I see this in the virtual assistant world a lot. They'll hire their first virtual assistant and they'll say, hey, I need you to do X, Y, and Z. And then maybe they don't give them the best instructions and maybe they do. And maybe the virtual assistant maybe just doesn't do very well. And then they train them up again a little bit more and they don't do very well again. And then they give up and they fire that virtual assistant. Same goes for a normal employee that's physically at your location doing the work. Don't let that be something that stops you from pushing yourself forward to getting out of certain jobs that you need to get out of. You're not lazy by doing that. You're not any less of a man or a woman by getting out of certain jobs that you shouldn't be doing. You're not above anyone by doing that. You're using your time more effectively as a business owner and as a business leader to be able to produce better income and hopefully better profits for your company. So your employees have a more secure future, your family has a more secure future, and you can pay more attention to the actual books of your business. That is dreadfully it's dreadfully important. Too many people don't give their books enough understanding and enough looks throughout the month. And too many of us work our butts off, grinding away, turning wrenches, and I'm talking about the service industry. This goes on in, even doctors and that kind of stuff, bankers, high level individuals. This happens there too. They work themselves to death. And then at the end of the day, they kind of take, what's left in the account. Okay, well, this is all I have left at the end of the month. This is what I'm going to pay myself. Well, if you think it should be more, then you need to be looking at your books more. Maybe you're not as profitable as you should be. Maybe there's some things you should be tweaking. Maybe there's some services that you're providing a lot of, but you're less profitable on. And maybe you shouldn't even provide that service because you're more profitable on these other services that you're not doing many of, but you could be doing more of. So these are things that you could be thinking of. Obviously, I thought a lot about this kind of stuff in the past. I've done a lot of this in the past. I've made all the mistakes. Learn from me, people. I've made all those mistakes that you possibly can make in business. But that will help you. That will help you to be the leader that you want to be, and be the father, the mother, the friend, and the all around person that you want to be, because you're going to be able to have more balance to your day, more balance to your time, and focus on the things that are truly important to your business, and train other people to do the jobs that you need them to be doing. And then guess what? You're going to find more opportunities to go, hey, I'm going to go step away for a weekend. I'm going to go to one of my little kids' band practices. I was able to go to a band concert in the middle of the day last week, because guess what? I have people that do things for me. They're fantastic at doing those things. So remember, like, find those opportunities and capitalize on them. And when those people end up leaving, and heaven forbid they do, guess what? You write down those systems of how they're doing their job, and then you just pass that on to the next person you bring on, and make that transition easier and easier, and then have them continue to fine tune how they do that job even better. So go out there, be happy. It's going to be a fantastic week. It's going to be a fantastic rest of the month. Just believe that. If you don't, you're doing something wrong. So believe it, be happy, be grateful, and go find some time to serve others. Have a great day, great week. Adios, guys.
Congratulations on spending a couple of minutes getting a little bit smarter, having some fun, and supporting the Idaho business community. If you're feeling the love, make sure to subscribe, rate, and review on iTunes, Stitcher, or wherever you are.